If you're looking for a suitable dark side craps come out strategy, then stay tuned. I might just have what you're looking for. Hey, my name is Joe and this is my Craps Master journey. Let's make it yours too. The cool thing is that many of these strategies can also be used for a hybrid style of craps play as well. I'm going to cover 8 different dark side come out strategies. Coming in at number 1 is a simple no frills, no odds, don't pass bet. It pays 1-to-1, and what you would do, my table is at $10 minimal, so you would put $10 on the don't pass. Again, that pays 1-to-1. It wins on a 2, 3, it loses on a 7 or 11, and it is a bar or a push on the 12, meaning that it is a tie that it neither wins nor loses. It also carries a house edge of 1.36%. And again, this is with no odds. The second option is a don't pass bet of $10 as well. And we're going to do what's called a ladder system. And I have 3 different types of ladders that I will show you. First one I call Waylon style because it's something that Waylon from Waylon's Way Craps, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, make sure that you go over there. Waylon uses this style of a ladder quite consistently. So basically what you need to do is you need to figure out what your 1 unit bet is. So we have 1 unit is $10 here. Waylon uses 100s, he uses 25s, but we're going to go with the $10 unit. Again, that's going to win on the 2 or 3 on the come out roll. It's going to lose on the 7 or 11 on the come out roll, and it's going to bar on that 12. Now, if we get a 2 or a 3, we're going to win $10. We just put it in the rack. If we get a 7 or 11, we're going to lose that. So what we'll do is we're going to ladder up and we're going to go with 2 units. So instead of $10, we're going to go with $20 on that bet. And we would play that out again until it would either win or lose. Let's say it loses again. We'll put another $10. We would lose that. We'd go up at that 20, put another 10 on, we'd be up to 30. On a win, what we would do is we would take that 1 unit off. So we would go from a 30 back down to 20. Let's say we win again, and we would go from 20 down to 10. And again, like I said, that's a 1-to-1 payout. So however much money's on that bet is what we actually get paid out. So that's the first style of don't pass the ladder. The second one is a progression type system. And what we do here is, let's say we start with a $25 don't pass bet, and let's say that loses. And what we would do then is we would go up to $30. So that 25 would lose, we would put $30 up there. Let's say that would lose, and let's do it this way. We have 25 for the first one, that loses. We go to 30 for the second one, and that loses. Next one will be a $50 progression. And then the last one would be a $75 progression. And if we get up to 75 and that doesn't win, hey, then you might want to reassess your strategy, your session, to see if it's time to move on or if you still want to play on. So that's the second type of ladder. And what happens is, like I said, start with 25, if that loses, we go to 30. If that wins, what we'll do is we just go right back down to the first start. So again, if that loses, we go to 30. If the 30 loses, we go to 50. 50 wins, we get paid out, and then we would go back to that first level of the ladder. So that's a simple ladder strategy as well. The third type of ladder strategy is where we would start off with a $15 don't pass. And let's say that wins, we would stay at that level. But let's say we lose that one, we would go with the second $15 don't pass bet. And if we lose that one, we would go to a third $15 pass bet. In order to win, we would have to win whatever level we're on twice. And if we win it twice, we would start over at the beginning. So let's say that the third $15 progression loses, we would go to 2 attempts at $30. So that would lose, we'd go to the second one of 30. If that loses, we have two progressions of $60. And again, in order to go back to the beginning, we would have to win this level 2 times. Or if we weren't up that high, we would have to win this level 2 times. If we win it 2 times in a row, we go back to the beginning. After that second level of the $60 progression, our last progression is going to be 2 levels of $120. So if we lose that 60 there, we would go to 120 right here. If we would lose that 120, we would go to a second one of 120. And again, if we get that high, which probably won't happen, but there is a possibility of it happening. If we get that high, you might want to consider reassessing your strategy and possibly leaving the table. Me personally, if I would get into this area here, that's where I would be reassessing. But you can do whatever you need to do. Okay, strategy number 3 is where we would make a minimum don't pass bet. So we'll go $10 again on that don't pass. And what we're going to do is we're going to put odds on it. So let's say we roll a 10. Okay, so 5, 5, 10 is our point. So what we're going to do is we're going to put odds on that don't pass bet. Now the 2 and the 10 will pay out $1 for every $2 that's bet. So let's say we put $30 in odds on there. If we put $30 on odds, and by the way, what you do is you're going to heel that bet. So you always put your odds to the outside of the table, the dealer side of the table, and you always heel off everything off the top. So let's say we made an $80 bet on odds. So we would go 3/4 and a nickel, and we would put everything off. We would heel it all off on the bottom chip. But let's go back to that $30 bet. And if the 7 would roll now anytime after this, before that 10 rolls, that's when this is going to win. So what we would do again, we would get paid out even money on that don't pass bet, and we would get paid out $1 for every $2 bet over here. So we have $30 here, we get paid out $15 on that don't pass bet. So that's with the 4 and the 10. Okay, so if we have a $30 bet on the 4 and 10, we would get paid out $15 on those odds if that would win. For the 5 and 9, everything needs to be made in multiples of $3. So let's say we go with a $21 odds bet, or odds play. And what's going to happen is it's going to get paid out $2 for every 3 that we lay down. So if we have $21 on there, divide by 7 times 2, that means we would get paid out $14. And again, that's on the 5 and the 9. On the 6 and the 8, we'll get paid out $5 for every 6 that's bet on there. So if we bet, let's say $12 on the odds for the 8, we'll get paid out $10 if that wins. Again, your odds and your don't pass bet will win if the 7 is rolled anytime after the point is made or is established, as long as the point number is not the one that's rolled. Because if the point number is what's rolled, you're going to lose that don't pass or the odds. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense to you guys. And that's strategy number 3 that we would go with for the dark side come out strategies. Okay, our next one that comes in number 4 is going to be the same don't pass bet, but we're going to also make a field bet. And what happens here now is, and what's nice about this is that's going to protect you against that 11. So again, this will win on the 2-3. It's going to lose on the 7 or 11, and it's going to push on that 12. So if the 7 rolls, then we're going to lose both of these. There's nothing we can do about that. But if we do this and the 11 rolls, we're going to get paid out. We're going to lose this, but we're going to get paid out here. So that's going to be basically a push or a tie. So that's going to help protect that there. The benefit here now is On that 12, it's going to push, so we get this money back, but we're going to get paid out double on there. So we get paid out $20 on there if that 12 would roll. And then also, we would get paid out if any of the other numbers up here roll, then that'll become your point. Let's say the 9s roll, that's the point, but then we're going to get paid out $10 in that field. The only time we're going to lose that field now is if the 5, 6, 8, or the big red 7 rolls. Strategy number 5, let's go with this. We're going to go with a $50 don't pass right now. And then what we'll do is we're going to go with a hard 4. And I don't have that on the camera view right now, but I'm just going to do it right here. Hard 4 is going to be $7 on there. And then we're also going to go with a $100 lay 4 and a $3 yo or 11. And we'll put that on the E right here. Okay, so let's run through this now. Again, the don't pass wins on the 2 or 3. It loses on the 7 or 11 during the come out. It pushes on that 12. Okay, your lay 4 up here, that's going to come at a $5 vig. So it's going to cost you $5 to put that on there. That's a commission that the casino charges you. And we'll get that back if we don't lose this year. But this lay 4 here is going to win if that 7 is rolled during the come out. But it will lose if we roll a 4 on the come out. Now to protect that, what we're doing is we're putting $7 hard 4 on the table here. And this is going to pay out $7 for every $1 that's bet up here. So basically what we're doing is we're protecting against this 4 somewhat. It's going to help protect somewhat. We're going to get, protect half of our money there. And it's going to pay out $49 if that does hit the hard 4. So we would lose the 100, get paid $49, so we get half of our money back. So that helps reduce the risk or minimizes the risk. The last bet we have on here is the 11 or the yo 11. And that pays out $15 for every $1 that we have out here. So we have $3 out there on this bet. If this hits, we're going to lose this right here, but we're going to get paid out $45 here. So we basically have a net loss of $5. So it helps protect a good chunk of that don't pass bet. So again, with this bet, we would go $50 on a don't pass, $100 on the lay 4. Again, we get that $5 vig back if we take the bet off, because this is only going to be here for the come out. We have a $7 hard 4. And then we have a $3 yo 11. Now, with this lay bet, some casinos will charge you, and this is the preferred method, will charge you the vig only if this would win. So only if the 7 would roll, we would get charged the vig. Other casinos, you pay the vig up front, and that's what I have to do at the casino that I play at in Green Bay, Wisconsin, is we play the vig ahead of time. The odds are not quite as good on that. But there's not much that I can do regarding that. Option number 6. Again, we're going to go with a $50 don't pass bet. And we're going to go with a $100 lay 4. And that again comes with a $5 vig. And then we're going to go with a $6 hop 4. And I don't have a hop 4 on my table, so we're just going to go right there and do that. And let me do this one. So let's make that 6 singles, 2, 4, 5. So I can explain to you what we do with that. And then the last bet we're going to make is another $3 yo 11. Again, don't pass pays on a 2-3. It loses on a 7-11. It ties on at 12. This lay 4 during the come out will win if the 7 rolls, and then we would lose that $5 commission or vig. If any other number rolls up here other than the 7, like a 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10, we would take that down. We would also get that $5 vig back. Now, the hop 4. We have 2 numbers that we need to protect against this. We have the 1-3 or the 3-1. That's the same number. And we're going to put $4 on that one. And then we also have the 2-2 or the hard 4. And we're going to put $2 on that. The reason we do that is because the payouts are slightly different. For the 1-3 or the 3-1, you get paid out $15 for every $1 that's bet. So this $4 here will win $60. If you do a hop hard 4, not the hard 4 that's on the table, but if you do a hop hard 4, what'll happen is we get paid out $30 for every $1 bet. The difference between the hard hop 4 and the regular hard 4 is that the hard 4 here will stay up for as long as the 4 does not roll. If the 4 rolls, you're going to lose that $2 or whatever we have on there, unless it's a hard 4. Then you would keep it and you would get paid out. The hop hard 4 is only good for one bet, one roll. And if it doesn't win on that one roll, you would lose these bets, so they would come right down. And then the last part of this is the Yo 11. Again, we have $3 on there. That's going to pay out $15 for every $1, so that'll pay out $45. We would get the majority of our don't pass bet back. Option number 7 is a don't pass bet. And then we're going to do an any 7 bet. So you can just barely see it on the corner of my table right here. The any 7 bet pays out $4 for every $1 bet. And we're going to go with $2 bet on there. And so basically you're going with $1 for every $5 that's on your don't pass. Again, that wins on a 2 and 3, it loses on a 7-11. It pushes or ties or bars on that 12. And this is going to win anytime that a 7 would be rolled. So obviously we lose that, but we would win $8 here. So we get majority of our money back. The last option that we have is a don't pass bet. Again, we're going to go with a $10 don't pass bet. And then we would go with just the lay bet. So we did the lay bet before with all the other stuff. Now we're just going to do a regular lay bet. And let's show you how this pays out on this now. This pays out exactly like the odds do down there. So let's say we go with a $40 lay 4. Okay, if that wins, that's going to pay out $20. Okay, and that would be the same for the 4 and the 10. If we went with a $30 lay 5, that'll also pay out $20. And also, if we go the 6 or the 8 for that, then for the lay bet, let's say we do a $24 lay bet. Okay, that would also pay out $20. So that's how that works. Again, these are different options that you can have during the dark side come out options. A lot of people use these for hybrid strategies to help protect their light side bets that might be on a table. You can do a couple different things with them. But hey, these are only the options. If you can think of any other ones that are valid ways to protect yourself on the dark side, make sure that you put it into the comments. Also, if you like the videos that we're doing here, I click on the link on that side of the table there, and I'll put a link to my playlist of all the videos that I'm doing now on how to become a better craps player. Hey, my name is Joe, and this is my Craps Master Journey. Let's make it yours too.